Hi and welcome to the Baby to Sleep top tips on pre-bedtime routines. So you might wonder what a pre-bedtime routine is. We've all heard of bedtime routines. What's a pre-bedtime routine? So this is something I love to introduce to families, especially when they get that little bit older, they're a little bit more aware and they're running about, and actually we want to help them wind down a bit more before going to bed. And it's also something that really helps in bringing that family together as well. Okay, so there's a few different aspects that I like to use a pre-bedtime routine for. So, for example, say your normal bedtime is 7 o'clock for your little one. You might want to start your bedtime routine, might be about 6:30, for example. So I'd normally say for a pre-bedtime routine, you want to start this about 6 o'clock. Give yourself half an hour. You might do it a bit earlier because actually the first bit's really good fun. But there's no set times to anything. It's just to give you some kind of window that you're working with. So what I always say to people when you start your pre-bedtime routine is actually let's get rid of some of that natural light. If it's winter, put the lamp on, turn the main lights off. If as it is now and the sun is still blaring, close your blinds. Try and get rid of some of that natural light because melatonin, which is the sleepy hormone, only releases in dim light. So if we're actually talking about, we've got all the natural light glaring through our windows, that's not going to help aid our little ones in going to sleep. It's just like if they were out riding the bikes when they were older. If you think back to when you were a child, there's no way you were going to come in from riding your bike, the sun's out and suddenly just head to bed. You've got to go through that process of being able to actually wind yourself down. And we all have our own little routines to do that. So this is why I always say, if you can actually get to the point where you lower the lighting, change the environment, that's going to help the melatonin production. Now, what you may have also heard is everyone says, do some kind of nice calm down before you go to bed. That's great. But actually, we want to sort of stage this a little bit. So say, for example, they might have had a really busy day, they might have been at nursery, you might have been here, there and everywhere, then you sit down and you have tea and your little one is then, it might only be half an hour, but half an hour to us isn't very long. Half an hour to a baby or a toddler or a child is a really long time for them to have to sit still. So what's happening there is they might have some of this pent up energy that they need to release. So what we can then do, by the way, screens are gone at this point, by the way, tea time comes, screens off, don't put them back on. It's a really good tip because obviously we want this to be about your family. This is your family time, okay? So what you want to do is come into the bed, so you've had your tea and you want to come into the living room or whichever room it is that you do everything in, and we're going to switch things up and we're going to have some fun. And this is going to be that pre-bedtime routine. Split it into 3. First section being fun, play, laughter. It could be big body play, sorry, we don't actually fight them, big body play, tickle fights. It could be dancing, it could be your child putting on a performance for you, anything where they're going to get rid of some of this extra energy that's sort of literally kicking around there. Let them burn it off. Let us give them some attention as well. Let's enjoy our children. Let's laugh with them. Because the thing is as well, especially if you're the sort that you're dreading bedtime, if you're at the stage where you're getting or you're stalling tactics, or you've no idea how many times you're going to be woken up in the night, actually, do you know what? If your anxiety levels are lessened before bed, then actually your little one's going to pick up on all this as well. So what we want to do is make sure there's laughter. That's the sort of thing that releases those endorphins, that feel-good feeling, okay? So what we want to do is really feel that, have some laughter, play together. I can't tell you how good you'll feel. The next section, wind it down a little bit. So this could be jigsaws, it could be orchard games, it could be building blocks, it could just be playing with the cars, it could be some really quite intense one-on-one play if you wanted to. You could just be doing some academic coaching with them. So say, for example, your little one's building a tower, you could describe all the things that they're doing and what it is that's in front of them. So an example I like to use a lot is, for example, say they're building a tower, you might say what they're doing. Oh, so you're putting the red block on top of the blue block. You're building a tall tower. Sounds ridiculous, I know. However, what's going on in your child's head is, oh, this is red, this is blue, I'm putting this on top of, I'm building, this is tall, and it's a tower. So what we're actually doing there is we're mentally tiring that brain, we're mentally stimulating them as well. So we're taking the next step down. From this point, by the way, while this is also going on, your little ones, they're going, wow, mum or dad or both of them, they're noticing me. They're noticing everything I'm doing. I am their sole attention. There's no phones, there's no distractions. This is our time. Makes such a difference. Then move to some stories. And if you do milk before bedtime, this is a really nice place to do it. Sit down together and have stories and milk and have some cuddles while you do it as well. Always put into place when you're going to actually finish things. So give them their warning. After this, we are going to do X. So they're aware of what's coming, so you don't get that tantrum or that push back because they don't want to move on to the next thing. So always make sure they're aware, and then from the stories, go straight up to the bathroom. Okay, ready for bed. I hope you find that helpful, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.